Hi everybody, good morning to you all. This morning we're going to be live covering some winter weather that we've got going on. Right now the heaviest bands of snow that we've been keeping an eye on are near Freeman, South Dakota, so just east of Freeman. If we use the measuring tool, we've got snow around 35 to 37 dBz, so it's kind of hard to explain what dBz means, but it's basically just a way for the radar to measure the intensity level of precipitation, and the higher the number, the more intense. So definitely some pretty heavy snow we've got going on over near Freeman. And Sioux Falls, South Dakota was getting some snow earlier. If we go back 50 frames, so we'll go back about, let's have a look. This is 2 hours ago. You can see the snow was a lot more widespread, so we had a lot of snow. I should say less widespread. We had a lot of snow going on, very heavy, just this whole area moving through. Now it's definitely more widespread. You can see, if we look at 7 frames, this is right now, so the intensity of the snow has lessened, and the frequency has too, but we do have one heavy band remaining near Parker, Freeman, Marion, Spring Valley, Viborg, and Centerville, South Dakota. But not as much going on as we had a couple hours ago. We've got Lisa Peterson in here from Des Moines. We'll check on Des Moines really quick. So it looks like all of that snow is going to be north of Des Moines for today. Not sure why this doesn't want to load. Okay, there we go. So you can see that blue is where that snow is, north of Des Moines, near Rockwell City, Jewel Junction, Webster City, Fort Dodge, Dayan, Gowrie. So that's where that snow is, but right around Boone, Ames, Jefferson, and south of there is where we see that snow switch to rain and wintry mix. So currently in Des Moines, it looks like we've got some heavy rain moving through. But yes, it is raining in Des Moines as of right now. I would not forecast any snow for you guys, but you may get a flurry or two. We're going to try to look at temperatures really quick. So Radar Omega is showing 39 degrees Fahrenheit around the Des Moines area. But you can see if we look further north, 32, 34, and all of these estimates are approximate, but it does line up pretty well with where we are seeing our snow. You can see 39 degrees in Des Moines, 36 in Perry, but then once you get down to that 34, 32, the freezing point, north of Des Moines, mainly north and west of Des Moines, you can see that is where we start to see that snow. It is actually a lot colder up north into portions of South Dakota and southwest Minnesota. We've got 29 in Sioux Falls, 34 in Yankton, 27 degrees up in Watertown, South Dakota. Gary sitting around 32. But if anybody does have any questions, please be sure to let me know. Looks like we've got Roadster Jim in chat, South Central Alaska WX. Thank you for tuning in. Lisa Peterson. We had Kevin in here earlier, Stormwatchers Weather. So thank you all for being here. If anybody is new around here, please consider subscribing to the channel. It is completely optional but greatly appreciated. And for anybody who wants to go above and beyond to support the channel, there's a PayPal linked in chat. That helps with paying for things like Radar Omega, Radar Scope, and National Storm Chasers Summit ticket funds. But that is all completely optional. It does help out a lot though. Even just watching helps, so I appreciate you all being here. But this heavy band of snow actually looks to be intensifying, so if you are in Turkey Ridge or South Dakota, Spring Valley, South Dakota, looks like you guys might be getting some pretty heavy snow, so you might see an uptick in flurries here pretty soon. What's up, Mr. Storm? Welcome in. For anybody here, this is really just going to be a chill stream. I don't think we'll be live very long, but I did want to come on here today because we did have some pretty intense snow going on earlier. This is all of these areas' first snow of the season. Yes, PayPal donations are extremely helpful and supportive, but not required. Indeed. So this is 4 hours ago. This is when the snow was at its peak intensity, I would say. We had very heavy bands. Just this whole area was covered in snow. So I would go ahead and say that the areas that have seen the most snow today, based off what I'm seeing on radar, I would assume that Yankton and Vermilion, South Dakota, probably picked up on the most snow, from this storm so far. An exact estimate on how much I could not provide, but based off the radar, I would say that mainly areas west and south of Sioux Falls, right along the Nebraska state line with South Dakota, probably picked up on the most snow. This winter weather advisory, which is no longer in effect for you guys, that now only includes portions of northwest Iowa and one county in extreme northeast Nebraska. So this is now one of those winter weather advisories where it is just discussing additional snow accumulation rather than our forecasted snow. Previously, this said 1 to 3 inches. Now we've got additional snow accumulations up to 1 inch possible for northwest and north central or west central Iowa. And that's until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, so for about another 2 hours and 15 minutes. So if you are in Storm Lake, Iowa, I'm actually not sure what the best radar for northwest Iowa would be. Probably Sioux Falls. But if you are in northwest Iowa, and I would go ahead and say extreme southeast South Dakota, south of Sioux Falls, you could expect up to another inch of snow, probably. But I wouldn't say anything more than that. This is our first winter weather coverage, or this is more of an update stream. This is our first for the 2025-2026 winter weather season. So it is good to be back. I always like these streams. I do enjoy covering severe weather, but these streams are a lot more laid back and it gives more time to hang out with chat. But once again, I would pinpoint our heaviest snow that we saw today, or the most in accumulation, would probably be in Vermilion and Yankton, South Dakota. I bet you extreme northwest Iowa actually got in on a pretty good amount near Rock Valley and Dune. This whole area where you see 25 plus dBz, which is how we measure the intensity of precipitation on radar, that entire area probably saw our most snow. I might actually go ahead and pull up some models for the forecast for how much snow we were supposed to see in these areas. Obviously, that winter weather advisory from the National Weather Service was for 1 to 3 inches. So we'll look at the north central U.S., and it looks like the GFS over the next 1 to 2 hours was showing northwest Iowa picking up on another 1.5 to 2 inches of snow. And then northeastern Nebraska, maybe about another inch, and then southeast South Dakota, probably another inch. I can go ahead and look at a couple traffic cams. We'll look at our stations for Cyclone Port on Radar Omega. And wow, that is actually a beautiful shot right now out there in Stanton, Nebraska. Doesn't look like much snow, but I think I might see a little bit accumulating on those fields out there. John McKinney had some snow on his stream earlier. You can see, looks like he's getting some flurries right now. In the past, I've been allowed to use John's footage, but it's been a while since we talked about that, so I'm not going to pull it up for this morning. It's probably best to ask him again. I'm sure he'd be fine with it, but I'm pretty sure he's part of a licensing group, so don't want to take his footage. But he is getting some snow flurries up there in Castana near Mapleton, Iowa. East of Chicago is where the jackpot could be. Over a foot of powder possible. Yes, we are expecting lake effect snow tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to go live covering that, but tomorrow it's looking like mainly along the Illinois-Indiana border, right along, I'm not sure which Great Lake that is, but one of them, so south of Chicago. Looks like we could get up to 6 inches of snow. Southern Michigan may see 5 to 7 inches of snow, maybe even. So we are expecting some lake effect snow tomorrow. I know Ryan Scholl is going to be there. He will be out there chasing. Brandon Kopic will be out there. That's really all that I had to talk about today. We'll stay live here for a bit longer because I don't want to do an 11-minute stream. Just stay and hang out with chat. But yeah, not too much going on. We do have this heavy band of snow continuing near Parker and Spring Valley, South Dakota. So those areas, you guys might see another ½ inch of snow. I would say the heaviest snow tomorrow would probably be just east of Chicago, and we'll see some in southwestern Michigan as well. In terms of severe weather, looking ahead these next 3 days, today we actually do have a marginal risk that includes mainly southern Indiana and I guess extreme northern Kentucky. And we do have a 2% tornado risk for portions of Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, but really nothing too concerning. Just be sure to have a way to receive alerts just in case in those areas. And then another marginal risk, which includes portions of southern Georgia, central Florida, the coast of the Carolinas, and portions of Virginia. So that's just a marginal risk, and that is day 2, so tomorrow. Yes, it is a very hard forecast for the snow that we're going to see in southwest Michigan and east of Chicago. The National Weather Service, as Mr. Storm said, is calling for 1 to 15 inches. So there really is a lot of uncertainty with that event. Hopefully I'll be able to get some coverage in tomorrow. We'll be here. That area is actually under a gale watch on Lake Michigan. So that's Lake Michigan, that's right. So this is for gusts up to 35 knots and waves 8 to 13 feet, not inches, 8 to 13 feet possible. And then we have a winter storm watch that actually does include Chicago, Evanston, Michigan City, Gary, Indiana. So if we read through this, you can see. Also, I would like to note really quickly, this new Radar Omega update, pretty good. They did a great job. It runs a lot smoother now, at least for me on my computer. So I really like this update. At first, I looked at this up here and thought that was a mess, but now I think it looks pretty good. But as I was saying, we're going to read through this winter storm watch. So dangerous travel conditions due to intense lake effect snow. Localized snow rates in excess of 2 inches per hour. and we could see totals in excess of 6 inches is what they're calling for on this winter storm watch, and northerly wind gusts in excess of 35 miles per hour are possible. So those are blizzard intensity wind gusts. The only reason we don't have a blizzard warning for this is because those normally happen at the time of the event, and because those winds need to be sustained for, I believe, at least an hour, maybe it's 3 hours. But once again, that winter storm watch does include the Chicago metro and then also Gary, Indiana, in extreme southwest Michigan. Pattern will be evidently quiet for tornadoes worldwide, actually. Typhoon. I don't even know how to say that. Should I try? Okay, I'll try. I believe it's Foong Wong. I'll try my best with that. May provide an outer tornado risk to areas northeast of Luzon in the Philippines. I probably just butchered all of that pronunciation. That is what Kevin is saying in chat. Looks like the snow actually did take a break in Sioux Falls for a while, but looks like you guys might have some bands moving back into areas just west of you. But the snow is coming to a stop in most of these areas. In northwest Iowa, this winter weather advisory is in effect until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. But Omaha Metro, you guys just picked up on some rain, and I believe I saw reports of sleet, Kevin was saying. So you guys just picked up on some rain, and then Des Moines is still getting some of that actually moderate to heavy rainfall moving through. So the temperature south of Des Moines is currently 39 degrees. So right at that freezing point, because if you look west of town near Audubon, 34 degrees. So right around that 32 to 34 degrees freezing point is where we are seeing that snow begin. So that means just north of Des Moines. And it's looking like Des Moines, you guys likely won't pick up on any snow. Maybe with some wintry mix as these storms move in from the west. But the majority of that snow up near Glidden, Ralston, Scranton, Iowa Falls, Webster City, where you guys are sitting at temperatures around 32 degrees, and likely feels like a bit lower than that. Northwest Iowa is actually a little bit colder. This says 28 degrees, and I believe that's the feels like temperature is 30. Visibility is down to half a mile. So if you are driving in those areas where we are seeing snow, be careful on those roadways because the visibility is dropping. Not quite blizzard conditions, actually nowhere near that, but definitely something to look out for. Maybe a few flakes, but it doesn't sound like we will get any accumulation. Yes, definitely no snow accumulation for you guys in Des Moines. I was actually just looking at the GFS for snow totals on my phone, and I know this is very far out, but I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. It is picking up on, I just think this is funny, November 22nd, so just 5 days before Thanksgiving. It is picking up on 9 inches of snow in southeast Minnesota. You can see that. This is 324 hours out, so take this with not even a grain of salt. But I do think that is funny that we're picking up on that much snow there. But in all honesty, could happen because it is Minnesota. You guys are bound to see a storm soon. Those totals obviously not accurate though. It is showing 29 inches between now and November 24th in western Nebraska. So that is very, very unlikely. so do not take that seriously, but something to look at. A random question is has Colorado ever seen a proper nighttime tornado outbreak? You know, that's a really good question, Kevin. In my experience since we've been here, I've obviously never seen a tornado, but I've been in my fair share of radar indicated tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings with tornado possible tags. We do not really see nighttime tornadoes. All of the big tornadoes here that I could think of happen between the hours of 2 and 4 p.m. We get a lot of those afternoon storms right when people get off work and school. The only occurrence where I can think of, and this wasn't a night tornado, but the Windsor, Colorado EF3 occurred at, I believe, around 11:30 a.m. We're actually going to pull up, we'll look at damage assessment toolkit. I guess Tornado Archive would be better for this. Yeah, we don't really get nighttime activity. We get one good nighttime thunderstorm a year, and those typically bring big hail, but never really tornado threats. Okay, so here's damage assessment toolkit. We'll just go to 2008. This is not damage assessment toolkit. I don't know why I just said that. This is tornadoarchive.com. So give this a second to load here. There is the Windsor, Colorado EF3. This occurred on May 22nd, 2008. So you can see the description. A powerful tornado swept northwestward across Weld County into Larimer County. And what's interesting is that this tornado actually moved southeast, which is also very, very rare for us. And this occurred around just before lunchtime. But I can't really think of any Colorado nighttime tornadoes. We'll Google Colorado nighttime tornadoes. But I can't really think of anything. Okay, so this website, tornadopath.com, credit to them for this data. But on this Google summary, it says the afternoon hours, 2 to 7 p.m., account for 68% of all tornadoes in Colorado. That's for Denver. But we're going to get back to radar, give you guys another update. Okay, so looks like we've got a little bit of a heavy band of snow developing near Jefferson, Grand Junction, and Scranton, Iowa. So you guys might see a slight uptick in flurries, but none of this is really anything that you need to worry about. I'll just take it with a grain of salt, because, I mean, you might want to put some salt out for this snow to melt it. I know some people hate even the slightest amount of snow, so that's why we're here. But the main snow band I'm watching is this one near Viborg in Spring Valley, South Dakota. That is moving south towards Vermillion. And as I stated earlier, I don't have any exact snow total accumulations for the past 10 hours pulled up. But I would say based off this radar loop that areas in southeast South Dakota, northeast Nebraska, and northwest Iowa saw the most snow, especially near Vermillion, South Dakota, Yankton, South Dakota, and I would say near Rock Rapids, Iowa. Those areas likely saw the most snow. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at John's stream, see how he's doing. It's taking a second to load here. Oh no, that is not good. It looks like John pulled up on... It looks like this guy maybe slid in his car into a ditch. Hopefully everybody is okay. Looks like the damage to the car is minor, so I'd assume everybody is alright. But that car is into a ditch. Not 100% sure how that happened. Obviously we could assume anything, but maybe the road was slick and they were going too fast. Looks like they've got people out there helping them. So hopefully everything is good. There was actually an intense nighttime tornado on July 5th, 2000. Really? Tornado archive. Okay, we'll get this pulled back up. We'll just go July 2000. Look at that. Okay, July 5th, 2000. I've actually been out in this area near Fleming, Colorado, along I-76. Yeah, so it looks like that was late at night. But that's like barely Colorado. That's northeast Colorado. Still Colorado, though. But we don't really get that many nighttime tornadoes here in colorful Colorado. Kansas, on the other hand, our next door neighbor, they get plenty. Looks like I missed Pete's chat message earlier. Not sure if he's still here. But yes, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And Pete said, so many of my online weather friends here supporting Mr. Twister. Yes, definitely. It is great. Thank you so much for all being here. Do I remember the Highlands Ranch tornado? Yes, I remember it very well. That was one of our typical storms, our typical timing storms that we have. By typical, I mean between 2 and 4 p.m. The Highlands Ranch tornado touched down around 3:30 p.m. But we just had a view. Glad to see you're still here, Pete. Alright, looks like those people on John's stream are getting help. Looks like they had Iowa Dot there. But for those of you just tuning in, if you are new around here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the stream. If anybody has any questions for their location, be sure to let me know. We are at 1,716 subscribers. We have gained 4 subscribers this stream. So for those of you new around here, welcome to the channel. I've got a cat who would like to say hello here with me. I should probably pull up our live radar again. So I'm probably going to end off things here pretty soon because we don't have too much going on anymore in terms of snow. But still some moderate to heavy bands of snow near Parker, Hurley, Davis, Viborg, Centerville, South Dakota, and those are moving southeast at, I would say, around 20 to 30 miles per hour. For anybody who would like to go above and beyond to support the channel, there is a PayPal linked in the description. That is 100% optional, but any donors do get a shout out. That is not required though. Even just watching helps. But be sure to let me know where you're watching from. Yes, John did stop to see a car in a ditch. Make sure everybody was alright. Alright, looks like they got them out. So, that's a W. So, W in the chat. Alright, looks like the car is good. So, that's some good news to end off our stream here. Once again, we do have a winter storm watch, which includes northwest Indiana, northeast Illinois, and southwest Michigan. So that does include Chicago. They're expecting likely around 6 inches of snow there tomorrow. So that's what's currently forecast, 6 inches of snow. But the National Weather Service has called for, as Mr. Storm said, anywhere from 1 to 15 inches as well. So a lot of uncertainty with that. Connor Croft he's not live, but he is up there in northwest Indiana waiting for tomorrow. And I did not notice this until now, we have a winter weather advisory for another 7 hours out here along the Wyoming, South Dakota border near Rapid City. We got some snow there near Lead, South Dakota. So what snow expected? Total snow accumulations of 3 to 6 inches, mainly above 5,000 feet. Winds gusting from 30 to locally 50 miles per hour will cause blowing snow at times. So this is in South Dakota, the northern Black Hills, in Wyoming, until 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time this evening. So plan on slippery road conditions, avoid travel if it is not necessary. Gusty winds could bring down tree branches, which could result in power outages. So if you're in these areas expecting winter weather, especially northwest Indiana, northeast Illinois, or extreme southwest Michigan tomorrow, be sure to have a plan for if you do lose power and avoid travel if it is not necessary. And you know what? Just because I feel like we'll stay live a bit longer. There's something we could do. Maybe we can... Could play Twisted, but don't think we'll do that. You know what I always have a good time doing? We can look at some old radar information, or radar data, if it'll load. Sometimes radar scope doesn't work. So we'll look at some tornadoes. What's a tornado that you guys want to look at on radar? Misty, welcome in. Will eastern Missouri get any snow out of this? Let me have a look. I'll get that pulled up on my phone. But I can tell you right now, it's looking like no, eastern Missouri will not get any snow out of that. Probably not any rain either. You guys are looking pretty dry for now. Let's go to May 3rd, 1999 and look at the radar presentation of the Bridge Creek Moore F5. All right. Sometimes on my own time I do this. I just go and look at old radar, but that looks like it's not wanting to load right now, so I'll give that a second to load. But I do want to give you all a sneak peek to my storm chase video. I'm working on a video of my first storm chase from August 9th, 2025. Don't want to show you all too much, obviously. It's not so much of a thrill video as it is a or like a intense storm chasing video. It's more of like this storyline. So anything out of the ordinary for a late summer day in eastern Colorado. Here's the start. And for me, this would be much more than just an ordinary slight risk. Just before 2 p.m., the Storm Prediction Center would issue a severe thunderstorm watch for portions of eastern Colorado. That's what the intro looks like. I'll show you guys some lightning footage. I'll show you guys this part. Some lightning footage from that day. We got that one. These are some of my favorites. I like this one a lot. Boom. That was a good one. See, look at that. Big CG. Here, this one's a pretty good one. That one. This is 3% speed. You can see very positive cloud ground lightning strike. And it's kind of hard to see with how bright it was. But you can see that line there. And it was kind of one of those spider lightning things. And I'm going to be adding more soon. But that's all I'll show you guys for now. The video may honestly come out tomorrow. I'm going to try to have it premiere tomorrow night. But I did promise that this Friday would be the latest that it comes out. It looks like John is back on the move. Good stuff indeed. I'm looking forward to releasing that for you all. It's going to be a great video. I worked on it a little bit last night. Probably going to put in some more time today, and the final push will either be tonight or tomorrow morning, because I want to get that out as soon as possible for everybody to enjoy. We've got 4 people watching. For those of you just tuning in, if you are new into the stream, please consider liking it. Helps out a lot. You can actually look at this snow in 3D. Radar Omega, I always liked the 3D radar. It's pretty cool. I always enjoy messing around with that. Unfortunately, a lot of the footage that I was going to use in my August 9th, 2025 Storm Chase video was lost because it was actually going to be part of the live stream, because I was going to use part of the live stream feed, but it was a 32-minute stream, but the YouTube servers only picked up on 11 minutes of it, because if they stop picking up on your signal for over a minute, that part of the footage is lost. And on Verizon, on the Verizon network, the service is absolutely, it's pretty bad out there in eastern Colorado. Actually, we could look at the radar from that day. What about that? So August 9th, 2025, we'll go. It's his live preparing for lake effect snow. Nice. He's going to be out there chasing it tomorrow. Brandon Kopic will be. I believe Connor Croft will be up there. Ryan Scholl. I don't know if the radar will load, but here was this severe thunderstorm warning. This was when it was a considerable damage threat. But then you can see it got upgraded. And I was in this polygon at the time. It was a destructive severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. We'll try to load reflectivity. There we go. So there was this storm. You can see this radar scan. This was at 6:20 p.m. So this severe thunderstorm warning was for tornado possible tag, 3-inch hail, and 60-mile-per-hour wind. So it was destructive. And my dad and I were right here, like where I'm drawing this blue dot. So we were right in between the two hail cores. And this storm did not produce a tornado that we know of. And you could see on the Pueblo radar there really was no rotation with it to begin with. But at the time I was looking at the Denver radar, and on the Denver radar it actually did look very convincing. So I thought it had the potential to produce. But still, nonetheless, had some great structure with that storm. This is one of my favorite photos that I took of that storm. The hail core was not in this photo, but it was tucked away to the east. But once again, that heavy band of snow is continuing near Viborg, Nebraska, Centerville, Irene, Wakanda. So, really, the remainder of all that snow is in southeast South Dakota. You're eating Burger King right now? Nice. Dang, we are at 1,716 subscribers. Thank you all so much for the support. Appreciate every single one of you. We'll pull up our live count. So 1,716 subscribers. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. We've got 6 people watching and 6 likes this stream. You know what? Let's pull up some models for tomorrow. We'll just look at the GFS snow totals, the 10-to-1 ratio for tomorrow, north central US. So this is what the GFS is showing tomorrow. It's not showing as much snow as I think we're going to end up getting. But it's only forecasting for around 4 inches in those areas by Monday. But you could see 6 inches. It's kind of hard to see that 6, but right over there near Chicago. Take this with a grain of salt. Actually, not even a grain of salt, because it's probably not going to happen. There's always the chance. But by Monday, November 24th, the GFS shows 29 inches of snow between now and then in portions of western Nebraska. That's just funny to look at. Don't take that seriously at all. It's probably not going to happen. There's always a chance for that, but very unlikely. I'm going to check in on John's stream, see how it's going over there. Looks like John is stopped. But you know what, everyone? How would we feel if we played some Twisted? How would we feel about some Twisted? If Nashville gets measurable snow, I think you mean before November or December, that would be a first. They could get measurable snow before me. We haven't gotten any snow at all, not even flurries. But we could play Twisted Legacy or something. Kind of up to you guys, because this is kind of a chill stream now. So what do all the viewers want to do? We've got 7 people watching. We could play Twisted. We could play the Minecraft Hardcore World that I started for streaming a while ago. I'm going to start a poll. Ago. Okay, let's guess the rating. Guess the rating is kind of hard to do on stream. We could try, but for now, I'm going to start a poll. And I know the keyboard is loud for you guys. I do apologize for that. Okay, I'm going to mute while I type, just so it doesn't sound terrible for you guys. Okay, there we go. Got that poll going. So be sure to vote on the poll, everyone. We got 7 people watching, 6 likes. So let's see these results right now. 1 vote. It's looking like somebody wants to play Twisted. Continue watching Radar for Snow is 1 vote. So we're going to give this poll a minute. So be sure to vote if you haven't already. Let's try to get to 5 votes. Okay, we're at 67% for continue watching Radar for Snow. 2 of the 3 votes are on that. I mean, I guess we could do guess the rating. There is a way for me to do that. I could pull up the damage image on the screen, and then you guys guess in the chat, but there is a lot of a delay. We could do that though. We'll see how this poll does. I'm going to give it another... We're going to keep the poll going until 11:30 Mountain, so 12:30 Central. You guys got about a minute and a half to vote. Alright, yeah, 6-7. So funny! That's so funny! That's hilarious. Really? 6-7? But right now, it looks like the votes are showing continue watching Radar for Snow. So, that's what we will do. If you are in Viborg, South Dakota, Centerville, South Dakota, you guys watch out for that heavy snow. It is pretty cold out there, so Avoid roadways because that visibility is going to be dropping. Avoid travel if not necessary. Right now, visibility near Orange City, Iowa, visibility is about 1.25 miles. 1 mile is the estimate around Le Mars, Iowa. Sioux Falls is looking at 2-mile visibility right now, according to the Cyclone Ports and Radar Omega. 2.5 miles near Laverne, that is in southwest Minnesota. So, on the poll, you guys voted to continue watching the radar for snow. So that's what we will do. Maybe we'll even do a bit more of a forecast for tomorrow. I just need to get some models pulled up. You have a small chance to see a burst of flurries Sunday night. You can actually see on... Why does my trackpad make that noise every time I slide my finger across? It sounds super weird. Okay, but you can see on the geopotential height on the EPS ensemble, over the next couple days, we're going to have some pretty extreme cold moving through the Carolinas. That's kind of what brought some of our snow today. And then a cold front is going to sweep through. There's many better models that you can look at for this, but that does give you guys a bit of an idea. There's the NAM. There's the HRRR. So the HRRR kind of just shows, it actually doesn't show our snow that we have right now in southeast South Dakota. It just shows in Iowa, and it is showing Des Moines picking up on maybe a couple snow flurries. I know we had Lisa Peterson in here earlier from the Des Moines Metro. So Des Moines right now still picking up on rain according to the winter weather radar and Radar Omega. But if we go to reflectivity, it is showing rain, and right now that freezing point is right around Ames, Iowa. So Ames is starting to switch over to snow. Perry is at 33 degrees, but still some rain for you guys. So most of the snow is north and west of Des Moines. The heaviest snow is near Grand Junction still, Boxholm, Patton. You're in a marginal risk of severe weather. Yeah, we actually were talking about that severe weather risk earlier. We'll get the SPC pulled up. We have 2 marginal risks today, both very small risks, but this one is for southern Indiana, and the other one includes portions of Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Both very small risks, though. So the marginal risk includes 12 million people, 50 million or 50,000 square miles. Excuse me. Both of those have a 5% damaging wind risk. And then our risk down here in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia includes a hail risk. So this one is all hazards possible. 2% tornado, 5% wind risk, and 5% hail risk. Right now, it's looking like our risk in southern Indiana is only for damaging winds. But in all of these areas, just make sure you have a way to receive weather alerts, but honestly nothing too concerning. Just stay safe out there. Keep an eye on the weather. But once again, if you're new around here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We have gained 4 subscribers this stream. Thank you all for the support. Can I look at the models for that? I mean, I guess we can. We'll look at the Supercell composite. Since we're kind of just doing whatever now, just chilling on the stream. Okay, I like this update on pivotal weather, but there's a lot of buttons to press. It is a bit confusing. Okay, composite reflectivity. And I need HRRR. Okay, what happened to there's the HRRR. Okay, I was gonna be mad for a second if they got rid of the HRRR. We need a regional forecast. So the HRRR is showing this is around 7 or 8 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's 9-10 p.m. in South Carolina. It's just looking like a couple semi-discrete storms could move through. Mainly just some rain, maybe some gusty winds, and small hail. We'll take a sounding, just because why the heck not? So view soundings. This is actually... Oh, I just got rid of it. Okay. A marginal torus sounding. That's the possible hazard type. Those obviously don't mean too much, but something to keep an eye on. So a marginal torus sounding, we'll look at some of the thermos for this. Your SRH in the first kilometer of the atmosphere is 85. The first 3 is 166. So the storms are not going to have an easy time rotating, so it's going to be pretty unlikely that you see a tornado, but a spin-up tornado cannot completely rule it out. 3 capes sitting around 100, so really not that great of an environment for tornadoes to occur. So you're actually not going to see anything, I would say, in terms of tornadoes. And our lapse rates in the first 3 to 6 kilometers of the atmosphere, we have 6.7. So you could see some damaging large hail with those storms around an inch. But if we look at radar down there for right now, everything looks pretty clear. We actually do have some storms, looks like some heavy rain down here near Hampton, South Carolina. But really nothing too much expected with that marginal risk today. Storms firing in northern Virginia. Yeah, it looks like we've got some storms popping up. Let's look on this cyclone port near Holly Springs, Georgia. Yeah, it looks like some dark skies. Probably going to pick up on some rain soon. We need to find a north-facing camera. That's actually a very pretty scene with that tree. The fall colors. Still present up there in Virginia, the fall colors. Maybe this camera's looking north. Yeah, I think this is looking north, so you can see a couple of those thunderstorms developing. But getting back to our winter weather, computer's slowing down a bit. I have way too much stuff open. We should go ahead and close iMovie. that slows things down a bunch. Okay, that's a bit better. So that winter weather advisory. Yeah, you said storms firing in northern Georgia, and I looked in northern Georgia. Maybe I accidentally said Virginia or something for some reason, but we were just looking at northern Georgia. Welcome in Western Ohio, EAS and WX. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. We have 7 people watching and 7 likes. For anybody just tuning in, please be sure to like the stream. It helps out a lot. That heaviest snow around 30-ish dBz, 35 dBz. dBz is just how the radar measures the most intense snow, most intense precipitation. So that is currently north of Colfax Corner, South Dakota. So you guys may pick up on a little bit more snow, and the visibility will be dropping. Our visibility north of Yankton, South Dakota right now is actually pretty good, 5 miles. Oh, I said Virginia. That's why. But yes, that was Georgia that we were looking at. Rapid City, South Dakota is actually under a special weather statement, an air pollution alert for dust for Rapid City west of the Gap. So, west of the Gap in Rapid City, the gusty winds will spread fine dust in the air and reduce air quality. So, for anybody sensitive to air quality things in Rapid City, South Dakota, try to avoid going outdoors today. Looking at John McKinney's feed, it looks like he's heading back into Nebraska. And he's got a couple more flurries on his windshield, but looks like it's calmed down for him, kinda. But he is actually, it looks like he's going south right now, but there is that heavier band of snow near Decatur, Nebraska, moving east, southeast, mainly south. But be sure to let me know where you're all tuning in from. If anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know in the live chat. We're kind of just chilling here right now. It has been a good stream. So I do appreciate you all for tuning in. I honestly just feel like staying live and just hanging out. So, you know what? Maybe we can watch some old videos. That would be fun. You're tuning in from the Matrix. Alright. Sure, buddy. We could play Twisted. Once again, for those of you in the Des Moines metro, especially south and east of Des Moines, really just a lot of rain for you guys. Maybe some wintry mix for the northwest side later, near Ames, Iowa, Gilbert. You guys are getting some wintry mix, but it looks like it is shifting over to snow. It's 33 degrees in Ames, Iowa, but I'd imagine the feels like temp is a bit colder with the sun hidden. You guys have got some wind up there. The wind actually isn't too crazy with these storms, though. The winds are 8 miles per hour. So a lot of people have been saying how peaceful the snow is, because when it's not really windy, especially, the snow is just super peaceful. We should watch some documentaries of mine. I don't know if we'll watch them on stream, but I do have a couple that I'll recommend for anybody who wants to watch some. Okay, so we're gonna get this pulled up. So videos that I would recommend watching on the channel. The Joplin tornado video is not really a documentary or analysis. It's really just I made an introduction for it, and the rest is a footage compilation. But the ones I would recommend watching for actual analysis, some of my best ones, the Elkhorn one, very underrated. Parkersburg, also underrated. And then the Bridge Creek Moore one actually did very well. That was another good analysis. I did a Tuscaloosa analysis, Rolling Fork.
7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Areas of the city, EF2.
I'd say all of mine are pretty good, but the Joplin ones were more so footage compilations because a lot of that footage hadn't really been seen, and wanted to spread awareness of it. Oh, in the Rolling Fork video, my voice was so different, even though it wasn't that long ago. It's crazy. I remember this stream. Greensburg, Kansas, tornado emergency as it happened. I wonder how this one did. It's been a while since I looked at that in studio. I had 14 likes. Okay, I just lost it. What is YouTube Studio do? You live in I don't know how to say that. I'm going to assume Ankeny, Iowa. Hopefully you get some snow. We can actually look for you guys real quick. Okay, so Ankeny, Iowa. Looks like that is north of Des Moines. Right now, it's around 37 degrees for you guys, so the temperature is dropping. It was 40 earlier. You guys may get in on some wintry mix in the next couple hours, but I cannot guarantee anything. But getting back to YouTube Studio, I want to look at my Greensburg stream. Greensburg. There we go. You're hoping for flurries at least. Yeah, I bet you guys could get some flurries. So total watch hours for this stream, it was only 30 minutes. I got 9.3 watch hours and 3 subscribers, 427 views, and we helped some people out and provided coverage for the Greensburg and Plevna tornadoes on May 18th. But dang, we have 9 likes this stream now, so for those of you just tuning in, thank you for liking the stream. It is greatly appreciated. We'll just keep an eye on radar a bit longer. Not sure how much longer we'll be live. I said I was going to end off a while ago, but I honestly just feel like staying live and hanging out. The Greensburg tornadoes were a lot stronger than rated since those tornadoes didn't hit much. Yeah, I can agree with that. But probably not nearly as strong as some people say. Some people are a little bit crazy about those. You know what we could actually do? We could play some Twisted Legacy. It's not so often I don't think I've actually ever played Twisted Legacy on the stream. Bit of rotation north of Lake City, Florida. Well, it's Lake City. Of course there's rotation. What did you expect? Okay, so I'm using the radar that Sam mentioned. High-res velocity. I do not see any rotation with that, actually. I don't think we have any rotation with that one, Sam. I'll look on this radar. That one's actually probably way too far out. That's the Jacksonville radar. And yeah, nothing. Where exactly do you see the rotation? I'm gonna go grab some water. I haven't had any water this whole stream, and I'm getting thirsty, so I'm gonna leave us on the winter weather radar. I'll be back. Give me 30 seconds to a minute, everyone. So, we will be right back. I'll keep the stream going. So, be right back, everyone. Alrighty, I am back. Looks like I did not miss anything in the live chat. So that is good. Looks like John's stream doing well. He's just driving. He's south of Iowa. So they are in that winter weather advisory. They're getting some flurries right now. Looks like the further south he goes, the more that's going to switch to rain. But once again, for those of you in the Chicagoland area, and then also in northwest Indiana and southwest Michigan, you guys are expecting roughly 6 inches of snow tomorrow. Connor Croft, Vince Walty, Brandon Kopic, and I believe Ryan Scholl are all going to be out there tomorrow. So they will be live tomorrow. So for those of you just watching, thank you for sticking around. Those of you still watching. So this winter storm watch, for some reason Radar Omega says it expires in 7 hours, but I believe it goes in effect. It's not accurate, that whole thing on Radar Omega, but it's in effect from late Sunday night through Monday afternoon. So that snow is going to start late tomorrow night. Maybe I'll be able to go live for it, but it will be pretty late. And I will be very busy on Monday, so try my best to go live. So, what to expect: dangerous travel conditions to intense lake effect snow possible, localized snow rates in excess of 2 inches per hour, event snow totals in excess of 6 inches, and northerly wind gusts in excess of 35 miles per hour are possible. So this is tomorrow into Monday in that area. And then expected impacts: untreated roads and especially bridges and overpasses may become slick and hazardous. The combination of snow rates in excess of 2 inches per hour and those high winds may reduce visibility, especially along the Lake Michigan shoreline. So, yeah. We've got Derek Wegener in here. Thank you for tuning in, Derek. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Not too many people left in here. We're kind of just hanging out. We do have those heavy bands of snow still actually kind of moving into Sioux Falls. So western Sioux Falls, southern Sioux Falls, you guys are picking up on some snow flurries again. So we actually do have 30 plus dBz out there near Montrose, that's South Dakota, not Iowa. So really just some widespread snow that's going to continue. These bands are moving south a little bit to the southeast towards Sioux City. So if you're in this whole area around the Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota state line, south of Sioux Falls, you can expect some snow flurries throughout the next couple of hours, just moving through there. So avoid travel if it's not necessary, because visibility may be reduced quickly at times. But then in northwest Iowa, you guys are pretty good. Not too much snow left, just some very general flurries. The radar is only picking up on a couple dBz of snow, so that is very widespread flurries where you see the dark blue kind of blending in with the gray. So if anybody does have any questions, feel free to let me know in the live chat. Let me know where you're all tuning in from. We hit 10 likes this stream, so thank you all for the support. I keep thinking about ending the stream, but I'm honestly just kind of enjoying hanging out. If anybody would like an invite to the Discord server, I can share that for you all to join. I'm actually going to go ahead and share the stream in the Discord server. So I'm going to go ahead and share the stream in the Discord server. I'm actually going to go ahead and share the stream in the Discord really quick. We've been live for 80 minutes. It doesn't feel like 80 minutes. It feels like we haven't been here that long. So, get this pulled up. So for anybody who wants to join the Discord server, let me know and I can post that link in the chat. But I'm going to go ahead and share that. So, let me get this typed out. Boom. That has been shared. So for anybody who does want to join the Discord server, I'll give you guys a sneak peek right now. We've got our announcements page, general, people can just hang out. Snow, winter storm discussion, we got our rules page. So, all of those things. So consider joining the Discord server. I'll share that invite link. Welcome back, Mr. Storm. Thinking about ending stream here, but not 100% sure. Kind of just hanging out. We got 4 people watching. Welcome in, Peachy. Looks like the Discord link brought a couple of you guys in here, and our poll has many more votes now, so 8 votes. Looks like we're on continue watching the radar for snow is what everybody wants. No, you don't want to do the poll. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share the Discord server invite link. The Discord server I actually made last year. It's pretty old, but it kind of died. But now we're in the process of reviving it. So it's coming back. But really not much else to talk about right now, guys. We do have this band of snow approaching South Sioux City. 67%, 67, 67. So funny. That's so funny. But as these snow showers do move further south towards John McKinney's location, which is near Ottawa, Iowa, they're going to shift over to rain and wintry mix. Right now, the majority of that precipitation has moved into Iowa. Let's look at high-res velocity, reflectivity. You can see a lot of that precipitation is north of the Des Moines metro. And if we look at the winter weather radar, actually, we do have some pretty heavy snow now developing north of Des Moines, around 40 dBz, mainly wintry mix up there. And then everywhere south of Des Moines, we're just seeing rain. So if you're north of Des Moines, you're going to see some snow, especially if you're north of Ames, Iowa. But if you're south of Des Moines, you're going to see mainly rain. West of Des Moines, it's really going to be a mix. But then east of Des Moines, mainly just rain. But that snow is making its way further south, slowly but surely. So you guys in northern Des Moines, near Ankeny, Iowa, Elkhart, Iowa, Polk City, Granger, you guys may see some... You guys may pick up on some wintry mix or maybe even a couple of snow flurries soon. The winter weather radar is not always 100% accurate. It's kind of hard to determine sometimes what's going on. When you start to see those green pixels on top of the snow, that's when it starts mixing, but it looks like that's mainly leaning towards it being snow. I haven't seen any pink pixels today for mix. It's really just been green and blue mixed together. But I don't know if any of you were watching when it happened, but somebody spun out and went into a ditch. They were just fine, but John McKinney said it was likely, it looked like a teenager just trying to drift in the snow. So if you're out there, please don't do that. Be careful because that visibility is dropping at times. So just be careful. Just make sure that you are not the issue on the road and that you're not a safety hazard for other people. I bet you our visibility near Boone, Iowa is pretty low. Yeah, according to this cyclone port, we have dropped to half a mile north of Des Moines. In Des Moines, we're around 3 miles with that rain. I wonder who Mr. Storm WX is, but shout out for Mr. Barometer. Everybody give it up for Mr. Barometer. Round of applause. Shout out to Mr. Barometer. Everyone go subscribe to Mr. Barometer's channel. But not too much else to talk about here, guys. We do have a winter storm watch. This is going to be for late tomorrow night through Monday. So this winter storm watch is forecasting for 6 inches of snow for areas mainly east of Chicago and in Chicago, northwest Indiana near Gary, and southwest Michigan, extreme southwest Michigan, mainly near Bridgman, areas right along the coast of Lake Michigan. We actually do have some very light rain moving through these areas across Lake Michigan, moving east. This has been a pretty good stream, so thank you all for tuning in. We should do Minecraft Hardcore. We can do Minecraft Hardcore. I just have to get that set up. I already have a Minecraft Hardcore world from a stream about a month ago. I can get that set up, and if you want to join, you can. I'm not sure if it's a multiplayer world, but let me get that set up really quick, actually. So we're gonna switch this screen. I have to do a little bit of a switcheroo because I can't use my iPad as a second monitor when we play Minecraft. But Mr. Vincent, if you would like to join Minecraft, feel free. Sounds like John McKinney is ending his stream pretty soon. We should do Minecraft Hardcore, though. Yes, we should. I'm going to get that set up real quick. So for those of you just tuning in, as the snow is stopping, we're kind of going to switch over to doing some Minecraft. So, Mr. Storm, if you do want to join, this world is from August 26th, 2025. It has been way too long. This is kind of just turning into a chill stream now, guys. But I'm all for it. If somebody in chat can let me know, do you guys see Minecraft or do you see radar? Because it should be on Minecraft. Oh, I already see the shadow of mobs below the house. Okay, so this is what it's looking like right now. So we're doing pretty well. I played this before the copper update, so now there will be copper in this world. But Mr. Storm, if you do want to join the world, feel free. I'm going to go AFK for a second, everyone. I do need to go do something, so I'm going to mute the mic, and I will not be moving on the stream. But I will be right back, so give me just a second. I'm actually going to leave us on the weather radar for Des Moines. Alright, so I will be right back, everyone. Give me just a second. Alright, I am back. So, once again, we got some snow north of Des Moines, west of Des Moines. Des Moines area, you guys, especially in Des Moines, not really south of there, but you guys might start to pick up on some wintry mix. But we are going to get into our Minecraft hardcore world. Play Minecraft hardcore as the chill stream. And of course, the cat is all over the computer. So we are loading in, gonna get some copper armor. Okay, so we're in a pretty good position right now. We got some iron tools, but I do have no armor. I should say I don't have any armor. So we're gonna find some copper. Copper should be pretty easy to find. It looks like they redesigned this whole thing, like the UI with inviting friends and stuff. Just gonna look for a little cave opening or something. Those are pretty easy to find in forests like these. Sometimes there's just copper sticking out in the open. Looks like there's a bit of a river. Can't remember if I set this world to amplified or not, because if it's not on amplified, then that random mountain with the spike on it is pretty rare. Okay, so we actually do need some food. That voice totally woke up your cats. Yes, I do apologize, Pete. That was my cat jumping onto the keyboard, and the microphone is in the computer under the keyboard. So I do apologize for that. But the cat is a bit rambunctious, and she jumped onto the laptop. As cats will do, because they seem to love keyboards so much for some reason. So I do apologize, but not much I can do about that other than keep her away from the computer now. So I need to be very careful to not die, because I do need to be careful. This is a hardcore world, so one death and we're done. But we're probably like 7 or 8 days into this hardcore world. Yeah, this is definitely an amplified world, because there's a bunch of floating blocks up there. And it is getting dark. I honestly... Okay, the game just froze. I'm not sure what I'm doing out here this late. I know we need copper. Didn't need it that bad, because now I'm risking dying. I've never seen that before, but... Okay, I thought that river was empty for a second. Okay, that creeper just gave us a boost. The Chromebook you're on has no E thanks to the cat. Dang. Yeah, they scratched one of my keys because it's a black keyboard. One of them is just scratched. So I'm running really far away from home. Luckily, I can just go back onto the stream and find the coordinates of the base. Right now, I'm just trying to stay alive. So, Might honestly, if worse comes to worse, dig into the ground, but shouldn't need to do that because I could just build us a little hut for the night. Dang it, we've got a zombie coming. The skeletons are my main concern because they've got. I feel like they shoot so much further on Bedrock than they do on Java. That could have been bad. Imagine that pop-up came when I was over near the zombies. That would have been game over. I can't tell. Okay, that is a river. So that's a ravine that looks to be filled with water. So probably plenty of water caves in there. I'm honestly just gonna wait out the night by doing this. I'm gonna place blocks on top of me. And then put some right there. And then get one right there. And I'm kind of just going to box myself in. Boom. We're good for the night. So we're kind of just going to wait for the sun to come up, and then we're going to head back home. My goal was to find copper, but now I'm just trying to stay alive. Got plenty of mobs after me, though. We're at 1,717 subscribers. Thank you to whoever just subscribed. We are 3 away from 1,720. Let's try to hit 1,720 subscribers by the end of the stream. It's heavily snowing in Ankeny, Iowa right now with flakes that are half inch to an inch big. Mostly all of it will melt. Wow. So they're big snowflakes. Yeah, so that is what I was talking about. How I was saying Des Moines was going to start picking up on some snow in the metro. So you can see Ankeny starting to pick up on that snow. It's kind of hard for the radar to decipher what snow and rain is because of how close the switch is being made to the radar. So it doesn't really know what to pick up. But it's crazy that Iowa is getting snow before Denver. Des Moines is getting snow before Denver. That's crazy. Doesn't show it on radar, but it's snowing hard. Yeah, I believe you, because the radar doesn't typically show it right when it switches over. So, especially west of town, it is really switching to snow along, I believe that's I-80 south of Des Moines. It doesn't have a label, but it is switching over to snow. So Des Moines, you guys are going to start seeing some big snowflakes south of Des Moines near Norwalk and Carlisle. I bet you guys will probably stay pretty rainy. We have 4 people watching, 13 likes this stream. Thank you all for the support. If you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel. And for any of you who would like to go above and beyond to support the channel, help out with costs like National Storm Chaser Summit tickets, paying for things like Radar Mega and Radar Scope. But all that is completely optional. Even just watching helps out. But the PayPal is the top link in the description, and I'll also link it in the chat. So boom, we'll link that. Yes, it has been a while since I've seen you as well, Mr. Tank, so thanks for being here. Good to see you. Hope you've been doing well lately. As I was talking about earlier, probably about 20 minutes ago, this area in northwest Iowa, but mainly southeast South Dakota and extreme northeast Nebraska, is going to continue seeing those snow bands move south a little bit to the southeast. And you guys are going to see that switch to rain. John McKinney is actually approaching Omaha now. He's near Florence, Nebraska. So right around Missouri Valley, Iowa, or Modale, Iowa, is where we're seeing that switch from snow back to rain. But most of that precipitation, once again, is now in the Des Moines metro. And once again, that is snow north of Des Moines, and then west of Des Moines and in Des Moines, we're seeing some big snowflakes. But then south of Des Moines, mainly rain. Not sure what the cat is doing, but she's all over the computer again. So the heaviest snow right now is located near Ames and Nevada, Iowa. So near Ames, Iowa, I was going to say Ames, Nevada, but that is actually Nevada, Iowa. So in Nevada, Iowa, Kelly, Iowa, Huxley, Iowa, Cambridge, Iowa, you guys are seeing the heaviest of that snow right now near Elkhart, even Ankeny. So over in Perry and Dawson as well, west of Des Moines, north and west of Des Moines is where some of those heaviest bands of snow are as well. Looks like John is wrapping up his stream. He's in the Omaha metro. But everything's pretty cleared out over in the Omaha metro now. If we look at reflectivity, it's really just some rain along the Missouri River, but mainly east of the state line. And near Grand Island, you guys are getting some rain showers. I doubt we have any snow over there. Yeah, that's all rain. So just some pop-up rain showers near Grand Island, El Dorado, Alda, Wood River. So look on the reflectivity. So if anybody has any questions in the chat, be sure to drop them below. Happy to answer. And let me know where you're all tuning in from, so we can provide the most accurate information. But for reals this time, I think I'm considering ending the stream pretty soon. It looks like the heaviest of that rain and snow, but mainly rain, is near Johnston, Iowa. But this is wintry mix, so near Johnston and Saylorville, Iowa, in Des Moines, like, you guys are getting all of it right now. A heavy rain mix with winter weather. It's all just mixing in there, wintry mix. Once again, we are 3 subscribers away from 1,720. So if you would like to help contribute towards that goal, consider subscribing. It is completely free and helps out a ton. This has been a great stream, so I appreciate you all for being here. Got 4 people watching now, though, so we got a couple more people tuning in. So we'll give everybody a second to say hello. We have been live for an hour, 48 minutes, and 53 seconds, so we are approaching nearly 2 hours live. But one last time, I'm going to go over everything, and then we're for reals going to end off the live stream. So, heaviest snow right now is north of Des Moines. So north of Des Moines, west of Des Moines, you guys are getting the heaviest snow right now out there. And those snow showers along the Missouri River will continue moving south, and they will either dissipate or switch over to rain as they approach the Omaha metro. And then we do have our winter storm watch, which is likely to be upgraded to a winter storm warning sometime tomorrow. This is for Sunday night, late Sunday night into Monday afternoon. For up to 6 inches of snow is currently forecast, but we could get up to over a foot in some areas. That includes Chicago, Illinois, Gary, Indiana, extreme southwest Michigan near Bridgman. So areas especially east of Chicago. Well, Chicago's the furthest city east, but in eastern Chicago, right along Lake Michigan, near especially Gary, Indiana, Bridgman, any of those areas right up against Lake Michigan, you guys are expecting to see the heaviest snow from this storm. Hopefully, I'll be able to go live tomorrow to cover some of that. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather today, so if you are in the Carolinas or Georgia, just remain alert for some gusty winds and small hail. So, with that being said, that is going to be the end of this live stream. Before we end off, I want to give shout-outs to everybody who tuned in. So, huge shout-out to Lisa Peterson for being here. We had Kevin, South Central Alaska WX. We had Pete, Misty, Sam was here. Who else? Mr. Tanks, Derek Wagner, Mr. Storm was here. We had Peachy, Mr. Barometer. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. 100%. Listen to what Pete said. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of this live stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.